come live with me?
I can.
Don't.
In the 15th century, a brutal battle is happening in a dark forest. A wounded knight screams in pain. On the ground lies a strange helmet. The warrior picks it up and puts it on, but suddenly, the scene changes. It is actually a dream. A young woman named Anne wakes up inside a church. All the people there are women. The men are away fighting in the Civil War. After Mass ends, Anne leaves the church with her mother-in-law, Morwen. Outside, Morwen pretends to be kind to a pregnant woman. She gently touches the woman's belly and wishes her luck, but it's only a trick. While talking, Morwen secretly steals the woman's bracelet. On the way home, Anne wonders if the woman will notice. Morwen doesn't care. As they walk through the forest, Anne suddenly hears a noise. She turns around and sees something strange in the distance, a knight riding slowly on a horse. Anne can't stop staring. Morwen calls her and tells her to keep walking. At home, Anne works in the garden and plants seeds. Suddenly, she notices blood running down her leg. She quickly washes it away so Morwen won't see. Later, Anne cooks dinner, but they have very little food. The stew is thin and plain. Morwen's teeth are weak and she can't chew properly, so Anne chews the food herself and spits it back into the bowl so Morwen can eat. After Morwen falls asleep, Anne quietly eats the last crumbs left in the pot. Then she lies down beside Morwen because they share the same bed. That night, Anne dreams about her childhood. She remembers playing in the woods with two boys, Seamus and Iago. They ran on the beach together and laughed like a happy family. The next morning, Morwen goes to the market to sell the stolen bracelet and vegetables from the garden. While Morwen is gone, Anne dreams about her husband Seamus returning from war. But the dream turns dark. Seamus suddenly falls to his knees, screaming in pain and begging for help. Anne wakes up when Morwen returns home. Morwen brings some food, and Anne becomes happy. But when she cuts an onion, it is rotten inside. Morwen throws it away, but says she doesn't care as long as she still has Anne. Anne starts crying, and Morwen tells her to keep faith. Later that day, Anne goes to the beach to collect water. There she sees a fisherman singing while fixing his boat. When she gets closer, she realizes it is Iago, her childhood friend. Anne asks if the war is over. Iago sadly says it is only over for him. Anne asks about Seamus. Iago's face becomes serious. That evening, Anne and Morwen feed Iago dinner. He talks about how terrible the war was. There was death, blood and torture everywhere. Iago says he was never meant to be a soldier. One night, Iago and Seamus decided to escape the army and return home, but during the journey, thieves attacked them. The thieves killed Seamus. Morwen demands to know exactly how he died. Iago finally says the thieves cut Seamus's neck. Anne breaks down crying. Later, Anne walks into the woods to cry alone. She remembers holding Seamus's hand when they were children. Nearby, the mysterious knight rides slowly through the forest again. That night, Morwen worries about their future. She leaves the house to deal with her sadness. Sometime later, a boat crashes near the beach. A young survivor crawls out of the wreckage, surrounded by the bodies of his crew. Suddenly, Morwen appears behind him and stabs him. She calls Anne to help take the valuables. Anne is horrified and begins praying while Morwen pretends the man drowned. Later, Morwen sells the stolen items at the market. For the first time in a long time, they eat a proper meal. The next morning, Anne is working in the garden when she sees the mysterious knight again, staring at her from far away. Terrified, she runs inside and watches him through the window. When she tells Morwen about the man, Morwen says she is imagining things. On the road to church one day, Anne walks past Iago. He follows her and tries to talk. Anne reminds him she shouldn't walk with a man who isn't her husband. Iago sadly reminds her husband is dead. After church, Iago walks Anne home and tries to speak with Morwen, but Morwen clearly dislikes him. When he leaves, she mutters an insult under her breath. Inside the house, Morwen tells Anne that Iago was always jealous of Seamus when they were children. She warns Anne to stay away from him, but Anne defends Iago, saying he was her friend long before she married Seamus. Morwen becomes strict and tells Anne she must stay with her for safety. Still, whenever Anne travels to town, Iago secretly waits by the road to walk beside her. Meanwhile, the mysterious knight continues riding through the forest. One day, Morwen brings a traveling priest to their home. Anne watches sadly as the priest eats their last food. The priest offers to sell them holy relics from his journey. Morwen says they have no money. Then she asks if anyone knows he has returned. He says no. While the priest is praying, Morwen suddenly slits his throat. Anne panics, saying he was a holy man. but Morwen calls him a fraud and says they need his valuables to survive the winter. They throw the priest's body into the river. Later, Morwen spreads rumors to justify what she did. Soon, Anne starts seeing the mysterious knight everywhere. One day in the forest, she even sees the knight kill an old man. Anne runs in terror and falls on the road. Iago finds her and calms her down. She tells him about the demon knight. Iago laughs and says the real hell is the battlefield, not ghost stories. Then Iago confesses he has loved Anne since they were children. He asks her to meet him that night. That night, Anne sneaks out to meet him. They kiss and become lovers, but Anne refuses to leave Morwen. Later, Morwen manipulates Anne emotionally, saying she would die without her. Days pass and Morwen continues attacking travelers on the road to steal their belongings. One night, Morwen follows the mysterious knight and stabs him. The knight crawls in pain until he dies. When she removes the helmet, she hears strange whispers coming from inside. Later, the truth is revealed. The knight was actually Seamus. During the war, Seamus fought a mysterious knight and took his helmet, but the helmet was cursed. It burned his face and trapped him inside. Morwen unknowingly killed her own son. She begins laughing and crying at the same time. Meanwhile, Anne learns the truth from Iago and realizes he lied many times. In the end, Anne and Morwen discover the helmet holds the trapped souls of all the people killed by it. Terrified, they hide inside the house. But the whispers never stop, and even after everything, Anne still feels drawn to the cursed helmet.